Are y'all ready to head off the trails? I'm the Cryptid Huntress, Jessica Jones, and I'm ready to take you on a mysterious journey right now. We welcome you to Off the Trails right here on the Spaced Out Radio's YouTube channel. If you guys haven't hit subscribe yet, please do. We would love to have you guys. And shout out to Mumblefoot for that awesome intro music. I always appreciate that. You guys, please follow us on our social media at TikTok at Spaced Out Radio, at Instagram at Spaced Out Radio Show, and on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. You guys can find me at thecryptidhuntress.com. Okay, and that's where you can find all of my shows. I do have shows over on my channel, The Cryptid Huntress. Y'all go over there and please subscribe, like those videos, and share them out. I am having the best time over there on my channel, in addition to being here at Spaced Out Radio on the weekends. Okay, also, if you guys would like to support what I'm doing, y'all can join my Patreon. That's The Cryptid Huntress over on Patreon. And I also have a Etsy shop, and that's called War Woman Goods. So you guys be sure to go over there and check out the jewelry and all the goods. Okay. And thank you guys so much for your support. Also, we have the Space Travelers Club here at Spaced Out Radio. That's our Patreon. So you guys go become a member of that as well. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I see all the moderators in that chat, and I am so glad you guys are here because we have fantastic guests here at Spaced Out Radio tonight. I got my buddies, JT and Ryan from the Horror Chronicles podcast in the studio tonight. We're going to get spooky, get creepy tonight. And don't forget that right after this show, After Hours has a fantastic lineup for us. Okay. So, okay, let's get to our guest tonight. JT and Ryan created the Horror Chronicles show because of their love of horror. They dive into all things creepy, discussing horror movies, the paranormal, cryptids, and just about anything that would make the normal person's skin crawl. So we're going to join them tonight on a journey into the unknown, and we're going to keep it creepy. That is what these guys say. They have a great podcast. You guys, please help me welcome to Spaced Out Radio tonight, JT and Ryan.
What's up?
What's up? Hey, it's about time I got
What's
top
up?
billing on this show.
He's the headliner.
What's up, Jessica? Thanks for having us.
JT and Ryan. Is it usually Ryan and JT? Because I mean, I just switched
no.
it up on
The
you
more
guys tonight,
professional shows
Yeah.
definitely say Ryan and JT.
So that's none of our shows.
Oh, they do. Well, we're far from that here.
Right. So
Well,
we're
so
good.
are we.
We're good.
Oh man. Well, I just felt saucy tonight, so I said JT's name first this time. Yeah,
Nice.
y'all are
Like it.
hilarious, man. I had
Like
so
it.
much fun with you the last time. I mean, we've done a couple of shows together, right? And y'all
Oh,
were on
yeah.
your around
We're
Halloween
old
of
hats
last
at
year,
this.
as a matter of fact, because you guys have some spooky, creepy stuff. Yeah,
We try.
absolutely.
We try.
And so yeah, I mean, we got a lot of catching up to do tonight. We got
We
a lot of
do,
catching
we
up to
do.
do.
We haven't talked to you
Yeah.
in quite a while.
Well,
So
it's been a while. I know. Listen, one of the last shows that we did together, we were talking about MK Ultra mind control, and we were talking about the Montauk Project. Remember that, guys?
Oh yeah.
And I actually ended up in Montauk for one whole week with a bunch of survivors of the Montauk Project.
That's awesome. And you
Yeah.
thought of us the whole time.
So that was interesting. And I did the whole time, the flight up there, the flight back, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder what them two idiots are doing. I'm going to Montauk.
So yeah,
and they're
but that
sitting in a
was
basement
interesting. And
somewhere.
and yeah, I thought, I know, I couldn't get you out of my head. Just kidding. Yeah. But yeah, so that was really cool. And I thought you guys could appreciate that. I actually have a picture, okay, because from Stranger Things, you guys are really into Stranger Things, right?
Mm. Where's that picture?
Yeah. Okay.
Show us the picture.
Okay. Yeah. So this was, I've got the picture here. So I've got a picture of the Montauk. Oh my gosh, y'all, my computer's lagging a little bit tonight, so I apologize.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I've got a picture of the radar tower from up there. I thought you guys would appreciate this. If my computer will show
that is
it.
awesome.
Okay.
A
So
lot of
I
people
actually,
don't
we
really
may
know
have
much
snuck
about
in
that
that
place.
place. Okay, through a hole in the fence.
You may have.
So you snuck into it illegally.
Or immorally.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I didn't say that. I didn't
Hey,
say that.
It's like,
But maybe I might have. I don't know. I might even have a picture of it. Maybe. I don't know. That may not be sneaking in there. Let me see.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, plausible deniability. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows what that fence is at?
So, but yeah. Well, okay. So I've been doing crazy stuff. Who knows? That could have been in somebody's backyard. I don't know.
Could have been standing in somebody's
yeah.
bushes outside
So,
their front window.
I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, my computer's lagging a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, just
No, that
yeah,
was
just
that
a
was
little bit.
somewhere at Montauk for sure. At Camp Hero, for sure.
it sounds like you got maybe like a 10-second delay. So let's judge that. So when we
What?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
well, that
Okay,
way we
well,
can,
that's-
you know,
I
that
know,
way
that's
we
really
can
rough.
listen
Listen,
to you. You're good. I'm
You're all
gonna make this show.
I wonder if we're
happen.
freezing on
Oh
her
my gosh.
side.
No, we're not. I just want to.
Here we go. We'll just
Hold on, y'all. Y'all talk for a second.
Okay, cool.
Y'all
So-
talk for a second. I'm gonna
we're
I'm
taking
gonna
over.
come back in, okay? Because my computer's
Awesome.
messed up. Okay, I'm gonna try to get on
Sounds
my
good.
phone. Okay.
sounds good.
We have you. Awesome. So, guys,
Okay.
like Jessica said, we are the Horror Chronicles podcast. That's awesome that she was at Montauk because we do, you know, that's
We did a big show about Montauk and talked a lot about government conspiracies. MK Ultra and what was our favorite one? Midnight Climax.
we won't get into that one,
but we won't get into that one too much. But it was an actual operation
Yeah.
controlled by the government.
Yes, for sure.
Like she's talking about Montauk. Montauk is the basis for the show Stranger Things. There's a lot of stuff in that show that goes back to the experiments they were doing on people in Montauk.
Well, that's
and then that fills right in with the Philadelphia experiment, which happened way before Montauk. Philadelphia experiment was in the 50s, and that spills right into Camp Hero and Montauk in the 80s.
which is what Stranger Things was originally going to be named, was Montauk.
Yep, that's right.
And
That's right.
I remember when that first happened, the big hoopla they had about that name.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
of course they changed it. Which honestly,
Well, and I could get that because a lot of people wouldn't know what that was.
right. And honestly, I think Stranger Things is a better idea. Is a better
Yeah. Absolutely.
name
Because it
for
allowed them to go in some directions that they couldn't have went if they'd have just named that Montauk. They would have had to have stayed with that storyline.
Right. Right.
You know,
It's just a pretty crazy story. And you know, who knows? Did it open up freaking portals to different dimensions? You know,
I say yes.
I'm going to say,
say
yes as
yes.
well.
The cool story behind that was I did a lot of research on the Philadelphia experiment. And if you don't know what that is, the Philadelphia experiment was a government run experiment. They wanted to be able to make a ship disappear. And what happened was they actually got Albert Einstein involved in that deal. And they pulled a ship out into the Philadelphia harbor. And sorry, I'm getting a little echo. So they pulled the ship out into the Philadelphia harbor, and their plan was to make this thing disappear. Well, not only did they make it disappear, they actually, if you believe the story and the hype behind it, they actually were able to teleport that ship to another bay 300 miles away.
Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy.
It's a crazy story. But what happened is right before the ship disappeared, there's a story about two guys, two doctors that decided that they were going to jump off the ship, and they jumped over the railing of the ship right when it disappeared, and they were expecting to hit water. They never hit water. They ended up waking up on a beach in Camp Hero where Montauk is. But not only did they wake up on this beach, they also woke up there 30 years in the future.
In the future.
It's a crazy story, I know, but there's a lot of stuff out there about it. And it's pretty neat. And Stranger Things plays into a lot of that.
That's
Not so much Philadelphia experiment, but Montauk.
Yeah. Hey, can you guys hear me? Is
Yes.
it too low?
It's very low, but
It's very low. Okay. I'm going to get really close to this camera tonight. Okay. Can you guys, is it better now? Okay. Listen, if it gets bad, I'm going to have to go back over to my computer. I'm having major technical difficulties tonight.
Oh, you're
but
good.
hey, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Well, that's how I roll. You guys turn up your headphones, okay? So you can hear my voice.
We'll do it.
All right, everybody watching tonight, okay? Because we're gonna get through this no matter what, okay? I mean to. All right. So you're telling the story about the Philadelphia experiment, and so what I went up there for, JT and Ryan, was we were up there for the 20-year biocamp portal opening, where the ship was supposed to reappear. Okay, and the ship was going to reappear at that portal, and they say that portal is what they utilized to do that teleportation experiment with the USS Eldridge.
That's cool. Yeah.
So we were there that day to experience that ship reappearing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were there for it. We were on the beach at Montauk at Camp Hero.
That's crazy.
So did you guys like shoot off fireworks when the ship appeared?
No. Well, a big fog rolled in, and we weren't able to see any ship because there was this really weird fog.
Dude, that's creepy.
It was. And we had people in a boat and everything out there to try to catch this ship. So, yeah, it was wild. Okay, but enough about my adventures. What have you guys been up to lately?
Oh man.
And yeah, because I've been seeing you guys at the Route 66. Was it the Terror at Route 66?
Terror on Route 66. We live about 45 minutes away from a town called Sullivan, and they have a big haunted house there. And what's crazy is Sullivan is about an hour west of St. Louis. St. Louis has some huge haunted attractions. They've got the Darkness, the Haunting of Limp. They used to have Silo X. They've got so many of these big, very professional haunted attractions. So we got invited to this one here in Sullivan, and they've touted themselves as one of the best haunted attractions outside of St. Louis. And we didn't really know what to expect, and we get there, and they take us into the house and show us around before they open. And this place was phenomenal. Yeah, it was killer. The way they had it set up, and just the level of detail and the scenery that they had in there. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. We get invited to a lot of these haunted attractions and things like that, because of the podcast, and we can, promote them and stuff, and we do what we can for them, but, we love them anyway, so it's very fun. We go and do a live show there, and you get to really see the backstage and what these people put into these places to scare people, which I can appreciate. So it's the fake haunted houses you go to, the ones that are built are cool, but it's the real haunted houses and stuff like that are awesome.
Ooh, yeah. See, I'm not a fan of going to a fake haunted house where they scare you on purpose. I hate those things. Like, I don't like it. I bet you guys probably like those a little better.
We do. My problem is I don't really get scared in them. I go into them and I'm like enamored by all the detail and how, oh man, look how they built that, and look how they, did whatever, put this curtain here, put these cobwebs here. I get into the details of it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's almost like whenever I've been to one of those haunted houses, like I've got it figured out. Like if they blow like air in your face, you're gonna get scared from behind, and like all that stuff. Like it's very choreographed, right? And see, the thing about those haunted houses is that I am out in the woods researching Bigfoot and Dogman and all these cryptids.
Yeah.
So I don't need to get scared in a haunted house. You know what I mean?
Right.
I do all the time just out in the woods. Yeah.
Right, and that's what I was saying. That's the fun stuff. The fun stuff is like going and seeing these things in person, going out in the field like you do, doing some investigating, which I love doing. JT, I don't know how much you've actually been out doing any kind of.
I don't like going in the woods. I'm afraid of trees. No.
He's scared of the shadow. Although there are spiders out in the woods.
Yeah.
Well, they say trees are actually could be portals too. So JT, you have a valid fear, okay? Because trees, some people even say that trees are Sasquatch. Sasquatch can be trees, okay? Because they have like chlorophyll in their hair. I know it's weird. I know it's a little woo. We're on the woo train tonight.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why you're talking to us.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I brought y'all on. Yeah, you fit right in.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you know, and if you think about it, so like there's certain types of trees that will, if they hear like a giraffe, if a giraffe is eating that tree, down from it, the trees, those same trees will change the flavor of their leaves to make them bitter so that they won't get
I've
eaten.
heard that before.
So it makes sense. It's all connected.
Yeah. Have you guys seen those walking trees?
Yeah.
The walking trees? Have y'all seen that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I was just asking because some people, I mean, I don't know what that is. That's really weird. It's like the roots come out and the trees move like they're walking.
Right.
So, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about them, but I have seen pictures of them.
Okay. Well, Ryan, you were saying that you go out and do field investigations. What kind of field investigations have you been doing?
So
well, he was in this daisy field the other day, and he was running. He had a dress on and pigtails.
That's what I like. No, so I used to have my own paranormal investigation team back in the day when I was younger. And it was just a ragtag group of people who like to go and do some investigating for ghosts and stuff. So we've been to a few houses and stuff. We actually went to a bunch of cemeteries and things like that. And I've caught some really good EVPs, believe it or not, outside. It's crazy. Like we're at the cemeteries in the middle of nowhere, and there was 5 of us, and my brother and a friend of mine were doing some EVP work together, and they had pretty distinctive voices, so you could tell if it was if it was them. The voice that was on there is very very deep and very distinct itself, so I knew it was from something else. And it actually sounded like the beginning of a eulogy. It sounded like someone saying, like thank you for coming out this evening is what it sounded like it said, but like really deep and kind of.
That's creepy.
I wish I had the laptop still that I had it saved on there, but like it's crazy. I remember, and I actually have some high quality video and some audio and picture stuff on my phone right now that I'm trying to get into the works of doing some investigating on. But it's in a business that it's corporate and they have stuff in there, so it's kind of hard to get in there overnight and be allowed to do EVPs and stay in there overnight.
Wow, cool. Very cool. Yeah, we just actually investigated a cemetery myself, like not too long, a couple of months ago. The last time I was out camping, I had my son out there with me, and we were just going camping. It was like Labor Day weekend, I guess, and I had some of my team with me. We were just gonna go camp and have fun, and we heard a scream in the woods. Okay, a scream.
Wow.
So of course, the first person to put on to grab his gear and say, "Hey, let's go check that out." It was my son. Okay, and so we just to kind of entertain my kid, we were like, "Well, let's just go check out that cemetery back there in the woods." And we went. It was very creepy back there. I'm not a huge fan of investigating cemeteries in the middle of the night. Okay, I'm really not. But we have reports of Sasquatch, okay, and dogmen around cemeteries a lot of times. Matter of fact, dogmen are found around or seen around Indian burial mounds. Okay, Indian burial mounds and in cemeteries. I don't know why that is. Would you guys have any idea?
I wonder if it's got something to do with the the essence or whatever of the area. They call that something different, but
well, if you think about it, I mean, dogmen have been they're well known with Native American culture,
mm-hmm.
and also you have all those all of the artifacts they have, everything holds that energy. And I mean, dogmen, they're going to be probably more amped to be around, what where they came from, and who knows if they're shapeshifters, whatever, there's a couple different variations of what dogmans are, or explanations of what dogmen are. It's interesting. I think that a lot of that has to do with just it's in the, like you said, in the land. It's funny you say that because I just got done watching that. Like I was telling you,
that Dark Harvest.
Dark Harvest was like that too. But also I watched the Pet Cemetery Bloodline.
Oh yeah.
And they were talking about the line. They're talking about the land it's the land that was, evil. It actually tells a really cool story about how the woods were what is evil and what they were trying to keep from getting out into the world. I don't know. It's kind of crazy,
and I wonder if it's got something to do with, there's magnetic ley lines all over the world, and they've actually proven that where like these magnetic ley lines intersect, there's this is kind of a weird thing we got into not too long ago. You look at some of the great pyramids. I'm not talking just the Great Pyramids in Giza, but like the Mayan temples and the Aztec temples, and then other pyramids. Like there's pyramids in China and all over the world, honestly. And what they started noticing was where these magnetic ley lines in the earth crossed, you would find a pyramid close to that intersection.
Right.
Very strange. But you're right. The Native Americans, they all had, whether they called it a Wendigo or a Dogman or there was another word. But anyway, a lot of the drawings of this stuff from back in the day were all very similar.
Right.
In shape and size.
Even though they're far apart from each other.
Right.
That goes into a whole nother thing too, like with the way that they communicated back then. We may have talked about this before, but like, it's kind of like with the way the internet is set up now, it's blocking everyone from being able to communicate the way they probably used to, which was, it's there's probably a lot more telekinesis and telecommunication stuff back then.
Yeah. Telepathy. Yeah. There's a reason that the telephone is called the telephone. Telepathy. Okay. It's like we used to actually use more telepathy back then. Now we've got our cell phones. It's so easy to just pick up a phone and call somebody. We don't even have to think about it, right? Or think about them.
Right.
But think about all the times that you have thought about somebody and they called you right when you thought about them. Like the phone rings and it's that person, right?
That is a weird thing that happens a lot.
Yeah, I think that, like I was saying, with the internet and the way it is, it blocks that natural communication line that I feel we're all connected. Just like with the trees and the plants are all connected, all that stuff. I feel like, maybe we're missing out on a lot of things that people used to be in touch with just because of all the electricity and all the stuff, the EMP stuff, all the stuff that's in the air. Electromagnetic fields and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Cat Chaser, thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate that. We appreciate you at Space Out Radio. Okay. Well, okay. Listen, I was watching you guys' show today, and you brought up the vampire show that I did. One of y'all did. I think Ryan did.
Yeah,
probably Ryan.
I had a 2-part series on vampires, and I gotta tell you guys, I had Jimmy Payne and James Rink on my show. And they were talking about real life vampires, okay? Like not like things you see in the movies and in these horror movies. These are like real life vampires dating all the way back from, I mean, I guess this was like the 17 or 1800s here in the United States. Okay?
Right.
And then we were also talking about reanimated corpses and things like that as well. And I know that you guys love to talk about vampires.
Yes.
So I figured we could talk about vampires tonight.
Absolutely. We could talk about all kinds of stuff about bloodsuckers.
Let's do it. Okay, let's talk about vampires. Tell me your opinion on them. I'm going to switch back over to my computer. I did reboot it, so maybe my computer will work now, and we'll get some volume. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to switch over while you guys.
All right, we'll take care of that.
Okay.
So
vampires.
We got
All
you.
right, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
All right, so vampires have been around for like she said. It goes all the way back into, if you believe, all the way back into biblical times. There was a lot of what they called bloodletting going on back then. The medieval times, they used to. I'm sure you guys have seen the graves with the cages over them. It's kind of funny that for years people thought that was to keep the spirits out, and it really wasn't. It was to keep the grave robbers,
Right.
or I'm sorry, it was meant to keep the vampires in, but it was really meant to keep the grave robbers out. But it was a cool story though.
Right. Yeah. So. And also, so for me, the vampire thing, I'm a huge vampire head. I think it's just a really cool concept. That and werewolves, that's something that's deep in the horror movie genre world. That's a pretty important thing. But just in real life, like you're talking about these real life vampires and stuff, it's kind of crazy. There was a craze back. I'm trying to remember who it was. The name escapes me right now, but there was a group of kids who actually, I think the one kid murdered this girl's parents because they said they're vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to, he was going to make them a coven with them and stuff. They're from vampire coven and all that stuff. And it's that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's for me. I like the movie aspect of it. Now, if you get into the real world aspect of it, there's a lot of crazy things that I don't really want to go into because last time we went to that, we got kicked off.
Yeah.
Well, actually, our episode got taken down off of YouTube last time we talked about
because we said the big A word.
The A word, which
no, we're not. I can't.
It has Chrome in it. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. So they took down our. Episode.
They said no, we don't like that. We're gonna delete that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
vampires.
So
yeah, you got to be careful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So a lot of these guys, it's funny that you bring this up because I was just watching something today about a real life vampire, and this guy lived in New Orleans, and what he would do is he would actually feed on human blood. He would do it 3 times a week. And what he said he was getting out of it was like a boost of energy. This guy had something medical going on with him, but it was interesting. He had like 4 different people, what he called donors, and they would come to his house and he would pick apart on their body. Usually he said he liked using the back of the shoulder blade. And he was very clean about it. It was almost like going to a hospital, except this guy's house was gross. But anyway, he would, he'd wipe the area off with alcohol, and then he'd take a scalpel and he'd just kind of, jab some dots in their skin and then squeeze their skin until the blood started coming out of it. And then he would literally suck the blood right out of their skin. And he said he only got like, I don't know, a teaspoon or 2 every feeding.
Right.
But he said it made him actually feel better. Now, there's a lot to be said about that. I mean, is there something in the energy of the blood that's actually making this guy feel better, or is it some like psychosomatic thing going on there?
Probably both.
Probably a little of both.
Well, if you think about it, a lot of people don't. I mean, I say a lot of people don't, but people probably know this. So the Mongols, Mongols back in the day.
Yeah.
So they used to literally tap into their horses' veins in their neck and drink their blood. That's they would drink the blood from the horse. They would tap into it, and then that's how they get, their their nutrients and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're constantly riding. They would ride constantly. That's how they took over so much of the world. And yeah, they would just tap right into their horses and suck the blood right out. Yeah. Somebody said, let that guy suck his blood.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm only going to go so far into that conversation because, like I said before, I'll go off on a tangent, and then next thing you know, we're kicked off the show. They say, "Hey, you can't put this show on no more." But no, there's a lot to be said. I mean, it makes sense. Think about it. Your body needs blood to live. That's where you get almost all of your nutrients, things that go through your body. I mean, it just makes sense. And if you adrenalize it, maybe it's a little bit more potent, so to speak. Which goes into, you're talking about vampires, Elizabeth Bathory.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know.
So I mean, that just shows how far. I mean, we're talking thousands of years, that this went back.
Right.
Elizabeth Bathory was what? 1400s, maybe 14, 13.
Right.
Somewhere around in there.
But I mean, she would bathe, supposedly. She would bathe in the blood of young females to keep herself looking young and stuff like that. So, I mean, who are we to say that it's not true? On our show, we believe that, there's a lot of things like with werewolves. Shapeshifters, werewolves, they're one and the same. Do I believe in shapeshifters? Yeah, I mean, there's enough. We talked about dogmen a little bit earlier,
Yeah, just so you know, Elizabeth Bathory was born in 1560 and died in 1614. So
and but getting back to shapeshifting and stuff and beings like that, you kind of, just like you said a minute ago about Bigfoot being a tree, how he was shapeshifting in the trees and stuff like that. Just another type of camouflage. So, yeah, Easy Win in the chat said the name of what I'm talking about. Every time I say it, I end up getting freaking a ban.
We get banned.
So
we get a slap on the pee-pee. Oh, sorry, slap on the wrist.
Jeez, JT, now you're gonna get kicked off.
I ruined it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it.
No, but you guys are hilarious, man. Okay, yeah, and okay. So my computer is so messed up, and my phone too. I don't know why I'm getting interference on both sides today. This is like so crazy. But
it's
anyways,
because you're talking to us,
everybody. I know the audio is messed up. I know. Well, it happens, right? But yeah, I'm sorry. The audio is messed up. I saw those super chats. Thank you guys so much for your super stickers. I'm having trouble pulling these things up, but I'm working on my audio over here, you guys. So I was trying to go over to my phone. And these things do happen at times. Okay. Right. So thank you. Let's see, Cat Chaser, Damien, and Uncle Bones. Thank you guys so much for your super stickers. I appreciate it. And I see your comments. Okay. But it's just one of those things. I can't do anything about it right now. I've tried. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I got a little lag, we got a little lag.
Yeah. The audio situation before they were talking about was, you get an echo from your phone. So when you mute it, your mic, it wouldn't be echoed.
Yes.
So that's what was going on, guys.
And I figured that out. Yeah. I figured that out. Yeah. It was my fault. Right. It was my fault, y'all. Okay. It's actually my phone and my computer. I just don't have the equipment. Okay. So sorry.
It's all good.
We got talent. We just don't have the equipment. All right. Right. That's what happens over here.
That explains my sex life.
Oh man.
God dang it, JP. Here we go.
Oh my
gosh. I got the talent. I just don't have the equipment.
Here we go.
Oh
my gosh. Yeah. Well, okay. What about? What about? Okay. What about vampire hunters? Are you guys into like vampire hunters? I know y'all loved those vampire shows and stuff, but I mean, there have been historical vampire hunters. I mean.
Yeah,
Van Helsing.
Abraham Lincoln was one, right? I saw that one.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Yeah. That is actually a good movie. I actually like that movie.
It is really good.
It was.
So back when I was a kid, so I'm a horror movie head. I've always been into everything that's creepy. I've always kind of been empathic. So, like, I really get the feeling of things like that. Even just from watching movies, listening to music, like I absorb the feelings and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was huge Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I see someone mentioned Buffy in the comments. Yeah, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I was huge into that. Lost Boys, which is a great movie, one of my favorite. Frog Brothers. For real, when I was a kid, I was a Frog Brother. Every Halloween, I dress up, camoed out, ready to rock and roll. I used to walk around all the time, middle of the night, trying to find something, you know. But yeah, honestly, I think it's that battle. You know,
it's the long-lived battle between good and evil.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. I've always been into the battle of good and evil.
It's just which one's which, though.
Right.
You know.
But
I
my
always
thing
went for
is
the dark side, y'all. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Come on over to the dark side. It'll be a hoot.
I always went for the bad side. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know,
I guess because I was so good.
Yeah. They say, well, never mind. Dang it, JT, you almost had me slipping.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, well, never mind.
That's
gonna be what they say about those Catholic girls.
So it's not the Catholic girls.
Hey. Okay.
Anyways,
back to what I was talking about.
Anywho,
so
moving on.
So vampire hunters, yeah, they're still. I've been trying to locate legitimate, as much as you can say, legitimate vampire hunters. I want to get some and try to talk to them, but most people that I've ran into, they're all like, "Oh, we don't show ourselves, we don't let ourselves be known," stuff like that.
There was two guys that did a documentary. It was on one of the streaming services. God, I don't remember, but they were they traveled around the country, but that documentary, they were more like in Arizona and Utah and that area of the country. And it was funny. It was my wife was like, "This is horrible. You got to turn this off."
Right.
I've always been fascinated with the idea of vampires. And it's from my childhood. I was really big into horror movies when I was a kid. And it's funny. One of the first, I think the movie that made me a horror fan was Stephen King's Salem's Lot. It was between that or House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. But Salem's Lot, dealt with a lot of vampires. And then after that, I got into Dracula and stuff. And very, very interesting. I just got to bring this up here. There's a new movie just came out. It's called The Voyage of the Demeter. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend that movie. It was very good. A lot of people, I've heard mixed things about it, but I thought it was really good. But what's cool is when you get to the end of that movie, if you will stop, and this is going to be really weird, put in Dracula from 1979 with Frank Langella in it, and it almost feels like you're watching the same movie. Because where The Voyage of Demeter ends, the 1979 Dracula takes off.
Right. That's all. I'm sure they did it on purpose.
Yeah, it's very cool because, of course, the ship wrecks. If you guys don't know what the Demeter is,
here we go.
Do what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
The Demeter is the ship that took Dracula from Transylvania to Carfax Abbey in London. And legend has it that whenever the ship arrived, it crashed into the rocks outside of London, and all the crew members on board were deceased, and most of them were drained of blood. They never knew what happened to them. But what's interesting about this Frank Langella, this is not the best Dracula movie, but it's almost spot on how it starts and the last voyage of the Demeter ends. It's very close.
I'm glad you brought this up.
That's awesome.
This one here is what I was wanting to look for. This one, it says I've only cried
Area
in
51.
Yeah, Area 51. Yeah. The Conjuring. Excellent film. That was one of the best movies that I had seen in like 10, 12 years when it came out.
I believe that The Conjuring actually changed horror, because horror was on such a downhill slide for so long that The Conjuring came out when everybody needed it. And The Conjuring was one of the first horror movies in a long time to hit #1 at the box office.
It was just,
and it held it for a while.
The way they made it.
Wow.
And then someone actually mentioned, this is kind of getting to some stuff that, you're into too, Jessica. Someone mentioned Phantasm. I can't remember who it was because I can't scroll up because JT's got the thing over there.
Oh, I'm
Somebody mentioned Phantasm. Yeah, there it is. Easy Wind.
It's Easy Wind. OG Phantasm.
OG Phantasm.
Phantasm
Original
is
gangster.
Yes. OG Phantasm is like my #1 favorite horror movie. Got me into horror movie. Have you ever watched that, Jessica? Have you ever seen
I
Phantasm?
haven't. I don't watch horror movies very often.
Okay, well,
I haven't.
This movie in particular, the storyline is awesome.
This movie will creep you out.
Well, it's kind of in the realm of it's about an interdimensional being that comes to planets and uses the souls of the people to feed and keep his planet going, his dimension. But it
sounds familiar.
No shit.
But it's set at a funeral home. They're stealing the bodies.
That sounds good.
Very cool movie.
It's a great movie. One of my all-time favorites.
Right up my alley.
Yeah, and when someone mentioned it, I was like, "Oh,
that's right up my alley."
Yeah, it's very dark and very creepy. So.
I gotta check that out.
You should, for sure. And there's a bunch of other
speaking
ones
of dark and creepy, you guys. Yeah. Okay. Listen, speaking of dark and creepy, I just did a show on feral humans. Okay. And one of the last movies actually that I watched on feral humans was The Hills Have Eyes. Have you guys watched that? What do y'all think about that? Because we have feral humans around these national parks.
Now, did you watch the original or the remake? Both of them are great movies.
I watched, I don't know. I watched The Hills Have Eyes and The Hills Have Eyes too. I've seen both of them.
Okay.
So I don't know. Is there another one?
Probably the original. There was a new one came out late 90s, early 2000s, sometime in there. And yeah, those movies were very disturbing.
So
why did a bunch of women fall in love with Interview with a Vampire?
I don't know. Probably because Brad Pitt was in it. I'm sure.
Because he's sexy. It's sexy. Yeah. And Tom Cruise.
Yeah. See, there you go. Show you guys. You can be
and a very, very young Kirsten Dunst.
You can be 5'2" and still be sexy.
You can be 5'2" and insane and still be.
So no, I want to get back to what you're saying. But so Phantasm, yeah, you would definitely like get into that one a lot. It's a pretty cool story. Storyline is really awesome, I think. But getting into feral humans, so I'm with you on that. We often talk about, we talk about horror movies, but we talk about a lot of things. We talk about cryptids. We talk about paranormal stuff, UFOs, everything that's creepy, and we've often talked about how, the scariest things out there are other humans.
Yeah.
They can either be the greatest thing out there or they can be the scariest thing out there.
Yeah.
And that to me, like you said.
Yeah, just look what Jessica's having to deal with tonight.
But no, I see a lot of people who, they're just, like you said, they're kind of feral looking people and they're definitely out there, and then you add drugs to it and they're mentally gone. And we have cases of like the people that were using Flocka, which is a drug they used to use, and it would literally turn people into freaking zombies. That guy, the guy that caught in Florida or California eating that dude's face because he was on that drug.
You want to see my face?
Yeah, bath salts.
Yeah, well, it was called Flocka. And it's crazy. You can get on YouTube and look up Flocka videos, and it's these people's on this drug, and it is gnarly. I mean, these guys, It's crazy. They're running through freaking parking garages completely naked, and they just jump head first into the back of a windshield of a car.
Oh yeah.
And then like try to get at the people. It is nuts. I mean, that's
you talking about the naked dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That is that's pretty terrifying.
I saw that video.
Oh, you can imagine. Like, I mean, just imagine you're sitting there.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, Marcy Brock said that people in Flocka look possessed. Yeah, and they act possessed. It's just nuts. And that show, it's like rabies, kind of. You know, it's like you're rabies and on speed at the same time.
I never had rabies. I got my shot.
But yeah, I mean, human beings can often be the most terrifying thing, and that's just the way I look at it. You know, it's pretty crazy. Check a message. But I mean,
yes, Damien, thank you for that super sticker. We appreciate that.
I was gonna say, go ahead. I know you guys had to mention the super stickers. We don't do that kind of stuff. We should do some stuff like that. No, you're good.
Yeah, we appreciate that here at Space Out Radio, man. Thank you to everybody who's giving super stickers tonight. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Derek's talking about Tom Cruise being pretty short too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's like 5'4", and like you can still be, killing it. That gives me hope. I mean, I'm like 5'8" or something like that, but still. I'm not that short, guys. Come on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Y'all are so silly. Okay, well, we talked about the feral humans. We talked about vampires. What are you guys doing for Halloween this year? Are you guys going to be going out and doing something spooky? Or are you going to be out at the Route 66 place, the Terror on Route 66?
We have talked about going back up there just to go through it again because it was really cool. I will be at home with my wife. We'll be passing out candy to all the kids that choose to get creeped out in my front yard.
And I'll be bringing my kids over here to get creeped out in the front yard.
Yeah.
No, but I'll be taking the kids out.
It's funny because your kids won't get creeped out about what's in the yard. They'll get creeped out about the guy in the garage.
Yeah. It's hard to scare my kids. They're definitely they're horror, like
I'm gonna show them Michael Myers movies.
I guess it's in their DNA, so it's hard to scare them with stuff. My son, my youngest, he's 6, and he's constantly like watching scary things, and he's always like, Dad, I'm gonna have to sleep with you tonight because I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm like, why are you watching that?
Oh, is that all it takes?
Oh, yeah, it is what it is.
I'm gonna go watch a scary movie right now.
You're not sleeping with me.
No, damn it. Derek has got a good one. Cobweb. Did you ever get to watch that?
No, I
dude, that movie was so good, man. So good.
Oh, were you born on Halloween?
Oh my gosh.
Sweet.
Well, okay. Oh, wow. Area 51, is that your birthday for real? That's the one and only. His birthday is on Halloween? What?
That would be awesome.
Okay. Well, you know what? I just remembered this, y'all. I got engaged on Halloween. And that did not turn out very good. Okay.
Oh, You got engaged to a creeper?
I do not recommend anybody getting engaged. I mean, it did not. It turned out really bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So
well,
it was a horror movie.
Don't let that ruin your holiday.
Movie. Okay. Don't be sorry. No, it didn't. It was fine. I forgot about it. Actually, I just remembered.
Oh. God.
Now see what you did.
I didn't do
anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Halloween has always been my favorite holiday.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I love absolutely everything about it. The traditions, the lore, the decorating, the candy, the kids, just everything about it. I just love it. To me, Halloween it's almost a way of life. I mean, most people love Christmas, and Christmas is okay, but for me, it's always been Halloween.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's crazy how that stuff Halloween's supposed to be creepy and stuff, but it brings everyone happiness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get to dress up and act weird.
And that's what I love so much about it is the creepiness of it. The building, stuff with skeletons popping out of them and scaring people.
I love it.
I've
actually performed a wedding on Halloween. because I'm ordained, but I got ordained for
Okay.
because I used to be on a search and
Are they
rescue
still
team.
married? That's the question.
No, but that's what
Nice.
drugs do to you.
No.
But no, so I got ordained because I used to be on a search and rescue team, and we did that so that we could be able to do like the last rites and stuff like that, kind of thing. So once my friends found out about it, like, oh, you're ordained, sweet, let's go. So I've done like 8 weddings, but so the Halloween one was really cool though. We all dressed up, and it was really, really cool. Like all the groomsmen had like chainsaws. So like when they said yes, and I do, you know, they're like revving up the chainsaws and
That's
stuff
awesome.
like that. It was pretty cool. Dude,
I saw some really cool
Oh my
wedding
gosh,
pictures
that sounds
today.
fun.
This
Yeah, it's
couple
cool.
was getting married, and the photographer was like behind the minister, and it was like a semi outdoor kind of, like you could tell there was a roof over them, but it was completely open. And the photographer is like up behind the minister taking pictures of them, you know, exchanging vows. And way off in the distance, you can see Michael Myers standing by a bush. It was badass, dude. I was like, dude, I would have loved to have done something like that.
Silverton, Colorado, Bigfoot close up. I don't know that I've seen that.
That's awesome. Yes. Are y'all familiar with that? Are y'all
Is that
familiar?
the
Okay,
one?
I just did a show on that Thursday night. Yeah, it's the one out of Colorado. The people on the train saw it, and I did a remote viewing on that. I had a blind remote viewing target. I didn't know what it was, and I mean, you can tell me your opinion if y'all seen it, but I can tell you what it is. I don't think it was real. So
Right.
but yeah, what?
So
did y'all see it?
no, he's looking it up right now. So when did this happen?
New
It was
photos
fake.
of Bigfoot.
It was fake.
October
October
8th. I
8th.
think I did see that.
Okay, I have seen this.
It was a guy in a suit. I'm almost positive, y'all, because I remote viewed it as a blind target, and like my data said latex, so like latex,
Okay.
theater, jokester, trickster, all that kind of stuff was in my data for this like blind
Okay.
remote viewing target, and so I would say that was fake. Y'all go over to my channel, the Cryptid Huntress. Y'all go check out that show with me and Barry Littleton on Thursday night if y'all want to see
Yeah.
that. The demon, the demon. I like your name. That's funny.
This is
yes, go check that out over my
to me.
channel.
Why, with all the technology that we have, I mean, look at what we're doing now. I mean, other than Jessica's messed up computer, we look good. She looks good. We can see each other perfectly. Why can't we get a good picture of Bigfoot?
He's blurry. Don't you know?
He's blurry. Is he like pixelated?
Don't you know who was? Gosh dang it! Why am I drawing a blank on his name? I always forget it. The comedian's name. He's one of my favorites, and I always fucking forget it. But that's what
Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg. I'm
Eddie
not.
Murphy?
No, it's Mitch Hedberg. He was talking about how his real fear is that Bigfoot. He's come to the conclusion that Bigfoot really is just blurry. He's like, there's a big blurry animal running out in the woods. He said that's what's really scary.
Yeah.
So I want to give
Rest in peace, Mitch Hedberg.
I want to give a shout out to
blurry.
Derek again. Derek Galloway. He said, Angela, Night of the Demons.
Yes.
Fuck
dude, that
excellent.
stigmata dance.
Oh, sorry for the F word. But yes.
Yeah, that's a great movie. We actually did. That was like our second episode we ever did. We ought to redo that.
That's a great film.
Because that's such a good movie. A lot of times, guys, what we'll do is Ryan and I will pick a movie or we'll pick a couple of them and we'll both watch them and then we'll talk about them. We don't break them down play by play, but we just, it's our feelings on the movie. The black and white version of the Night of the Living Dead. That is a cult classic. And for anybody that don't know, for anybody who doesn't know, Night of the Living Dead is a public movie now. Anybody can use it. Anybody can play that movie anywhere.
Yeah.
They lost their rights to private possession of that film. So it is now a movie for the public. So if you ever want to use like music from it, well, you got to be careful with the music, but like cut scenes from it or whatever, we've done it before. You can't get in trouble for it because it's public domain now.
Right. And that's those movies are so great, man. I remember when I first watched
the remake of that was fantastic.
The remake was what I was going to talk about. When I first watched that remake, man, it was just awesome, dude.
I think out of those movies, though, the remake of Dawn of the Dead was probably the better one.
Right.
Oh yeah. Sweet. Well, you guys, we have actually reached the end of the hour, and I am so I hate that my computer was so messed up tonight. But yeah, we've reached the end of the hour. Tell my audience where they can find you and where your podcast is located. Okay, so they can find you. Is it on YouTube, podcast platforms, or what?
Absolutely. So we're on every podcast platform that you can think of. We're on Spotify and iTunes, Castbox.
But you can
anywhere
watch
you
us,
listen to a podcast, you can find us.
You can watch us on YouTube, guys. Go there, like, share, and subscribe on that. You see our beautiful faces, and if you don't want to see our beautiful faces, you can check out on everywhere you can find a podcast at. Also, we have our Facebook page. Go there, give us a shout out. We like to have people on the show, so people in the comments, if you want to come on, go over to our YouTube Horror Chronicles podcast and check it out. Send us a message on Facebook and say, hey, can we come on the show? And we'll talk about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, if you're more comfortable with email, you can reach us at horrorchroniclespodcast@gmail.com. We love to talk to people, and we talk about all kinds of stuff.
So come check us out, guys.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Yeah,
Jessica,
you guys have
thanks
a
for having us
fantastic
on.
podcast, and I've been on your podcast before. Absolutely, you guys. Y'all are awesome. Please go subscribe over there to them on YouTube, you guys, and have a great Halloween, you guys. Okay, have a great Halloween. Please come back and hang out with me again. I promise you, I'll get my computer fixed for the next time y'all come. Okay, over here to the Spaced Out Radio.
Well, we need to get you back on our show.
Oh my God,
again.
you guys have a great night. Yes, I will. I will absolutely be there anytime. Okay, y'all just give me a holler. Okay, Y'all have a great night. Thanks, JT and
you
Ryan.
too.
We'll see y'all next time. Okay. All right, y'all. Okay. I had some bad audio issues tonight, you guys. I'm so sorry for that. I'm going to try to make it up for you tomorrow night. I promise. Okay, so y'all come back and see me tomorrow night. Please go over to After Hours after this show and go hang out with them. They've got a great show with a great guest lined up for you guys tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow night here on Spaced Out Radio. But for now, I'm Jessica Jones. I'm the Cryptid Huntress, heading off the trails. I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe out there.